Okay, me family, and so just like how we know say plenty things that be done they happen at Sierra Leone this being term. Of course, we don't see a lot of activities that go on between the government, the National Electoral Commission, and of course the Parliament in Sierra Leone. And so this issue don't become a hot button topics where everybody they talk about, and the people that will grapple with this whole talk here, so this whole issue. Now SLPP members of Parliament they introduced a motion on the floor in Parliament asking key questions of the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the country regarding a very important instrument where they before bring Canada the Parliament, and of course. When I know say the SLPP now the main opposition political party in the country, and of course one of its main strategic regions is based in the North America region of United States, and so the chairman of the SLPP North America happens to be Dr. Sandi, and so we want to invite him for asking some questions about what in your own perception, what in your own beliefs about some of these issues where they go on in the country, especially with regards to the electoral process and of course even the internal organization of the SLPP, the party where it head in the North America region. And so we get for bring can Dr. Sandi now for talk to we exclusively on these issues. We get for talk to we today from the Washington DC metro area, and of course once more we want for welcome Dr. Sandi to Sherix Broadcast Network. Hello Dr. Sandi, how you do?
Hello, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Sharif. Thanks for having me. What a pleasure it is, Mr. Sharif, for joining you in this your network. I think information is power. Information really they arm people then for stand up for waiting and believing. So your network being one of the tools where they propagate that, so with people then back home, I think a lot of people venture way to undertake. So on behalf of SLPP North America, we really want to commend you for that good work. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Sandi. We really appreciate your comments. You know, it boosts we up. And of course, we say one for say congratulations to you for winning, for being the chairman of a very important political party in Sierra Leone, the Sierra Leone People's Party, for being the chairman of the 5th region when in North America, including United States and Canada, for the second time. You're a young man, you know, of course, like how people that they see you right now. And so for make you go there in a position like that, I feel say it has to do with commitment, it has to do with the level of organization that you have. So congratulations, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
And of course, so let's go straight to the topics. You know, say plenty things don't happen at Sierra Leone, especially with regards to the motion where the SLPP parliamentarians that introduced now Parliament asking key questions of the government, especially asking the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in the country about what to make them not be done address certain issues there in the country before they even start the electoral process going on. And so, Dr. Sandi, by your own understanding of these issues, waiting you go on for level people that know about these motions when they introduced in the Parliament.
Okay, thank you. Interesting topic, and I think, and I believe, saying one of the hottest things on the way they make waves now, both inside Sierra Leone, outside Sierra Leone, even in the diaspora region, including North America. Well, first off, let we get a clear view of waiting at the actual issue. I already mentioned about the APC and whatnot. For the last 11 years, we've been on the almost 11 years now, I'll say, we've been under the leadership of the APC with President Anes Kroma leading as the president. If we look at events, issues, and we try to catalog them, for analyze it to people, and I think it really tells you that the APC government has not been of any useful service for Sierra Leone. So we need to underscore that. But a lot of fast track to the issue we mentioned, the electioneering process. That did not start way back. It started back with the entire census process, which was the first step, and then now we move slowly into voter registration that ultimately we get for go in where physically people go to the polls. So these are a series of steps. The issue of this whole motion thing pick back to the census where they been do. If you remember, a census was conducted nationwide We saw the numbers. We definitely, by all indications, see significant increase in the population of Sierra Leone. So now we're talking about what, 7 million people, something around that.
Right.
When you factor the numbers, you try for dissect a little bit. You can see, say, the southeast number not really increased significantly if we truncate into the previous census. But you look at the northwest, specifically the north, we see a marginal increase.
Right.
Why that happened, it remains a question yet to be answered. But that is what we have. So we are dealing with a population of about 7 million people now. That might not be the fourth step, in my view, with the electionary process. Then now, all of a sudden, we don't start voter registration, which is important. And I want to add my voice to the people in back home, say, this is your right. Go out to vote. I may go out to register, because that registration, they earn you the capacity for able to bring any governmental change at a nation. So while this they go on, all of a sudden, we hear about motions in parliament. And I mean, it's better late than never. I read now with SLPP MPs, and two of them significantly that they champion the motion. So to the motion itself, from what you are able to understand, and I'm sure yourself and series of winners in the diaspora preview to her, what you are able to understand is, with SLPP MPs them, stand for questioning some aspects of what be happened during the census. And that is, when the census completes, we had these inflated numbers, it leads to the increment of constituencies. You know, delimitation and what have you, a little constituencies. I mean, boundaries they get increased, constituencies get added. So now I think we have maybe up to 10 or 11 more constituencies. I don't get the exact figure, but we had more number of constituencies added. Now, my understanding is when that process is done, this process should have been brought to Parliament, bring them to Parliament, have a discussion on them, more or less have the Parliament, you know, when the legislative body endorse that process before we move into the registration proper. That not happen, from my understanding, wherever the lapse is where it's yet to be clearly understood. But obviously, the current Attorney General, the current boss of NEC, you know, the National Electoral Commission, they could not free out of that. Now, the finger pointing we see between these two administrative bodies. So that not happen. And so Parliament, with the leadership coming from WIO MPs, and take a lead and say, hey, wait a minute. So if we go about to voter registration, which specific numbers are we looking at? Which specific boundary delimitations are we looking at? And the reason why I think say this technical enough, now for let people to understand, say, if the registration process done, down the road, knowing APC for who they are, with a 99 plus status, down the road, what if somebody raise up a legitimate question or a legal question, say, hey, but we are not being used the actual, you know, boundary delimitation estimate or what have you that was done this year. So therefore, this registration process have some issues. What do we do? And I think that is the catch in there. We make them raise this issue up. Now, Parliament has a motion. Now, my understanding again, after that don't come up, I've been this finger pointing back and forth. It looks like there have been some people taking responsibility. The Attorney General of the office obviously need for take responsibility to say it was a lapse on their part. I think even the NEC boss need for take responsibility to say there was lapse on their part. From all what you have gathered so far, that are the gist of what will lead to them motion them way we MPs then raise up. And I think it's legitimate, and I think it ought to be addressed, and I think people that be need for know about that. Because again, as I say, if they're going to go through all the space of the electoral process, especially the registration aspect, complete that, then down the road somebody can begin raise questions, somebody can begin raise legal issues. When we know say the APC are good for that, where do we go back? Who do we point finger at? What do we do? So I think that the entire composition and components of the motion from which they are able to understand. And again, I don't get a chance yet to speak directly with the two MPs that we raised, or the one that we second now. Obviously, the party structure not able to pull out a full, authentic position statement yet, even though I know they are involved. But you know, from your vantage point, this is what is the information that I'm privy to on the motion.
Well, you know, Chairman, that is exactly what the issue is. And plenty people that they discuss say we know say the APC not on record from 1961 to 2017. What would we talk today? For me, they're able for go through a democratic process that is free, fair, and transparent. For me, they're able for hand over government to somebody where they elect through a democratic system. And so when they work with somebody like that one, or a political party like that, where they get that kind of record, will not forever allow any process for go untouched. And so people that they blame the SLPP opposition that they have been weak. Why then wait all the way until the time when even the voter registration don't start before then they go after this issue?
Excellent question as well. And definitely, Mr. When I start, I say it's better late than never. Waiting we MP them for able to understand, which I believe they do. But by and large, we literally turn around, it's maybe not only to that. As a opposition party in parliament, you have a civic responsibility. You are also part of governance. And if you are part of governance, there are certain responsibilities that you need for take up, you need for challenge. That is why we have them there in parliament. Then they serve as the eye. If you look at all democracies, specifically the United States, you will see when a government comes in office, if not a Republican-led government, you see how vibrant the Democratic opposition in Parliament and both the Senate and the House become. When there's a Democratic-led government, you will see how the Republicans become vibrant. Because the opposition, for no say, they are part of governance. They should create that checks and balance to government, to the government. They are a significant wing. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, we've not been seeing much of that from we MPs. They are in a minority. I know it's about, 41, 42 of them, or maybe around that number. But still, their voice matters. They should have been taking issues like this to the constituency, to the media, so places where people were able to read them when they challenge the issues they have. Like I said, that has not been the case over the last couple of years. But then, it's better late than never. Now, at least we are seeing some semblance of that. I think there is still a little more room for that because elections are next year. As a couple of months away, give or take. So, as an opposition, you still get a significant role to play, especially on these critical issues now. Like what they up and bring up for debate, it don't create a rude awakening. I'm sure it don't create this message, you don't send this message to the APC say, you cannot just go now with all the tea, you want to do all this little shenanigan and not get somebody where they challenge you. Because they even funding the election, the entire election process, they are crying that they don't have money. Well, if you don't have money, or you have ministers who are building houses, you have ministers floating around with numerous fleet of cars, what are you telling us? This is what you signed up for as a government. At the end of your term, you should conduct a free, fair, and credible election. All the tools should be provided for that, including finances. If you don't get it, the international community is there standing ready to prepare, to give in whatever resource they need. I think they just need to take the better approach. But again, it's better late than never. Our MPs, I'm sure they've started. I hope they'll continue for stand up for what really they be elected for do.
All right. And so, Mr. Chairman, when these issues start, when they introduce the motion at Parliament, it go viral around Sierra Leoneans and all over the world. For say the APC, this and the other tactics for make them go able for extend the term of office, and so APC be deny. But finally, after we don't talk to a couple of parliamentarians, that we really understand say when the instrument, because the National Electoral Commission get a timetable, get a calendar we work with, so that we don't give this instrument to the Attorney General and Minister of Justice for make it go brand kind of Parliament so that they go discuss it and pass them into law. But then we don't they keep them until 6 days for let the voter registration start. Now a crangle. So in fact, now being a way for me they able for delay the thing until then go down the 21 day go down pass. Then now they go come back and talk say, well now the voter registration is null and void because we're not able to discuss this instrument. So we are going to extend the term of office. So my question now is, you feel say with all of these things where they go on, wherein with the Yeri say even some people then some of the constituencies and wards then where they don't where they don't do the delimitations, people then they find it difficult for register. You feel say this registration for continue for go on or waiting for happen from now moving forward?
No, I mean, in my view, directly with the last question we posed, I think the registration. I mean, we are more than halfway into it. I think by all indications, it should continue. It should continue, and our people should be aware of the fact that the APC get 99 plus statics, and they should not allow themselves to be consumed by all the statics. We APC can always want to push last minute. Like you rightly say, this cleverly was gonna, if it was gone unchecked, it was gonna be a clever tool for halt election. Halt, I mean, extend the term of the current. But that was what they were gearing toward. That was what they were gearing toward. So a good way this can, a good way, at least when they get extensive debate about turnout, a good way, not only at the local level, but internationally, people are aware of them thing there, and therefore people are standing up, they talk about time, they debate time, I mean, all over. You see, so a good way it come up. But that was a clever motive behind it, that if this one checked, we will wait until that 21-day time expire. Then people will start raising the question. They will say, oh, well, we don't go through this process. So you know what, this process, we not really feel say incredible enough. Let us hold time and let us look at potential ways for starting all over again. By doing it, we have to extend the time. There's no other way. We just for end up for extend the time.
I know. And so, and you know, when they invite the National Electoral Commissioner, Infa Ali Conte, in a parliament for me to talk about this issue, he apologized, say, I mean, not apologize, but he talk, say, this issue was a mistake and that the mistake was not intentional. You believe that?
You see, my brother has probably said that very costly. I don't believe that a bit. I mean, if you're saying it was a mistake, not intentional, it means your credibility in terms of man in that office should come to question as well. I mean, to me, that is what you're telling me. Because, you know, you as an electoral commissioner chief, you have a significant role to play. I mean, it almost seems to me that the destiny of this nation rests on your shoulder. If you start to begin telling people, they say, oh, it was a mistake but not intentional, then how credible are you even in manning this office? I mean, are you prepared for the job? Are you there as a stooge for somebody? Are you there for satisfy a set of people or one particular individual or one particular set of government? I mean, party. So to me, I don't buy that at all. I think it was a reckless mistake. Let's put it that way.
Well, you know, say, you know, all man can get this belief, all Sierra Leoneans then get this belief for, say, APC get 99 tactics. And so we don't see two of the tactics. The first tactics was for let the youths then go to the streets, make them ask for more time, you know, then demonstrate their way to share then demonstrate in Sierra Leone for, say, we want the power, let we give the power more time. That's not seem for work. And now the second one was, let we mess with the electoral process. And that safe, it looked like, say, it not get for work. So you being the chairman of the SLPP 5th region, you feel say the APC then get any other tactics wouldn't go on for deploy during this electioneering process?
I mean, obviously, make no mistake about it. By all indication, APC doesn't look like they want left power at all. By all indication, make no mistake about that. So to me, they will continue for do all they can within their powers for hold on to power or for manipulate the entire electoral process so it will favor them. I mean, even the numbers, honestly, even the numbers from the census, I still question that. Because when you look at them, I mean, Sierra Leone is a geopolitical nation. The Southeast naturally has always been in favor of the SLPP. The Northwest, preferably the North, has always been in favor of the APC. So if you go do a census, the numbers get significantly increased on the sitting government is stronghold. I mean, to me, there are legitimate questions to answer, but we don't pass that bridge now. So to me, yes, APC will bring as many tactics as they can because they want to continue to hold on to power. Maybe not necessarily with President Anis now, give or take. I mean, even that, I'm not too sure about that, but I'm sure they want to hold on to power. They want to skew this entire election process for go in their favor. And they will not stop. They will not relent. They will continue for push and push. Don't be surprised if we wake up tomorrow again, we hear about another one. And like I say, I don't mention the financial aspect. They are now complaining there is no money to conduct the election. Even the current registration process. I mean, I'm glad I read the NEC pull a statement say, well, side of them, they get problems, technical issues, they don't address those issues, what have you. But it all factors back into the finance. They complain saying money not for finance the entire election process. That could be another clever tactics, because they can't say, well, money, no, the international community not support we, so therefore what do we do? So we should continue for be open. We should continue to get the eyes right on the ball. We should continue for questioning, because they will bring as many tactics as they can. They want to continue to hold on to power. I mean, to me, if you think you've done, 10 plus years going into now, if you think you've done a formidable job, you think the people of Sierra Leone are satisfied with what you're doing, open the process, make it credible, make it free, make it fair, let the people have the right to go to the polls, let them vote for the right party. When things say they will continue for trust, for move the agenda of that nation forward, for bring prosperity to the people of Sierra Leone. So if you think really you are sitting government, you're coming in as an incumbent, you are comfortable, you are confident that you've done a good job, why not open the process? Not begin bring wishy-washy issues them, they try to manipulate the process. And I think these people are very smart these days. They're not going to do that at all.
And so, the other tactics back home, the reports, and this now another tactics where been very popular even during the 2012 elections was that is right now, because as an opposition party we're not in opposition, with the say during this registration process, the APC, surrogates them. They can transport people them from the immediate neighborhood in Guinea. Then they bring them come inside, give them birth certificates, and register them so they will be ready to vote in 2018. I ask this question because these are some of the questions the way people that they send to we for let we go ask you, as being the chairman of the SLPP in the most powerful region, you don't hear about that, and if you not don't hear about that, but if something like that did happen, waiting at the countermeasures for make sure say, this election will be free and fair for the opposition.
All right. Well, again, very great questions, something of significant concerns to not only me, but every Sierra Leonean will mean well for that nation. But let you see, you take non-Sierra Leoneans across the border, you ferry them in, for car register, just again for help manipulate the process and skew out towards you for let you win elections. I think it's unfortunate. This is not the type of thing we would expect. But that notwithstanding, we're a distance away in the diaspora. We get few people that will not commit themselves, they don't go back home, they help with the registration process, they help every way they can. And we as a region now, so we serve, we monitor the process, we don't commit, we serve in whatever way, shape, or form. Financially, we also don't commit. Matter of fact, we send significant amount of money, and we still there on the verge for remit more money for just help, the party with this whole registration process. But I will tell you for sure that idea of ferrying people from Guinea, from Liberia, just let them can register. I think it's something we, from all intelligence together, it is ongoing. Now, how do you stop that? I think that is where with party structure, with party administration come in. Because they are on the ground. They are leading us. We're not the diaspora. Yeah. We can only help add with voice as best as we can. But I think we administrative leadership will come into play now. And not only question that, but ensure that there are valid proofs that they come up with. Feed with those proofs, and we go disseminate that to the international community for let them know, say, this is what the APC is doing. So, by all indication, I think it is happening. Me say don't get intelligence. I don't talk to people that we don't confirm that it is happening. We just need that leadership to step in, bring them to light in the open, disseminate it all over, and we in the diaspora can take them and push them. Right now, we are on the verge of at least doing the best we can, drawing the international community attention to what did the APC they do, because it's not only ferrying people out, but as I say, series of other things that where they're not involved in for either derail the process or skew the process for let favor them. We are definitely prepared and will continue to expose them to the international community, because these are our donor partners. These are people that we don't pour a significant amount of money for help that nation move forward. But yeah, I'm not listening and will sit back and look at the APC take me back to those stone ages. So definitely it is something where it is significant concern, and I think the sooner we begin expose them in the open, the better it is. Don't need for wait. Because now people that they say it is rumored, but they are legitimate and authentic evidences to that effect. We just need to disseminate the evidence today. And we live in a digital world today. It's easy to let you capture pictures, where you capture, voter papers, where registrations, where are fictitious, where they let you disseminate them. So with the council, the leadership of we party, the administrative leadership will take a strategic move on that. And even with parliamentarians too. I mean, they should be vigilant on that. They should be able to challenge and bring these issues up in Parliament Day for discussion, so that the entire nation will be aware of it.
Right. Yeah. And so, going back to the motion where they introduced in Parliament, Honorable Swallow Kuroma now introduced the motion, and then seconded by Honorable Dixon Rogers. I know say you don't personally talk to them yet one-on-one, but knowing these two gentlemen of the SLPP, what will be your assessment of the incompetency for making them able for continue for pursue this issue until they don't make sure say it don't serve in the best interest of the SLPP and the people of Sierra Leone?
Right. No, well, I mean, those two names that you mentioned, no doubt. I mean, I people the I don't meet personally. I not talked to them yet during this whole interface of this motion. But I know them. They are credible gentlemen. I mean, young, vibrant gentlemen. Them. And I think, to me, with the drive where they don't take, the passion where they don't put into this, I'm not saying they will continue to pursue this issue to the letter. What you also need to admonish them to do is bring on board the other folks. I mean, there are other folks in Parliament, young, vibrant folks, people like, Param, Bash. I mean, there are a couple of them, and we get vibrant women, they could even a minority leader. Let them galvanize, for the first time in a long time, Lord, put aside whatever little ramblings that we get as a party. Let our parliamentarians work as a united force. Because you know what? This will talk about the destiny of that nation. This will talk about the survival of even we party. If you see how they begin play caricature with this and say, chess game because this person here, then you are only delimiting yourself. Because at the end of the day, what will they do is empower the APC for continue the reckless behavior. So I hope these two gentlemen, when they don't take a lead on this, they will bring around their colleagues, continue for speak on this issue, continue for take the message to the people of Sierra Leone, continue for propagate every other thing where they will see where now one of those funny tactics the way APC go and bring. So no doubt, I mean, I don't get any doubt in these two gentlemen. Matter of fact, God willing, I go there Sierra Leone pretty soon, and I hope for meet not only these two gentlemen, but across the board with parliamentarians and engage them and talk with them. And then we see how best we set now the diaspora will continue for help moving the discussion, ensuring that the electoral process is at least free and fair. Because we as a party, we have a responsibility. And I think every arm of this party, be it in the diaspora, need to play a role in ensuring that we do what we can best for give the people of Sierra Leone a chance for let them go to the polls and at least vote for a party where they believe say will help lead them into their future.
Right. Definitely. We all get for making to Sierra Leone very soon because we want to be part of the democratic process. And so, Mr. Chairman, the other question here is that, for 9+ years now, the SLPP be done in opposition, and we don't see that the party we don't go through quite a lot of internal issues. Them, people that they violate the core values of the party. Violence. Disrespect to others, and quite a lot of things they go on. And so we want to know that now that it is just a year or less away from the next presidential and parliamentary elections in the country. Waiting the SLPP North American region, they do specifically for able for make sure say the party able for come together so that they not go able for go into the 2018 elections as a party that is divided, because now that's not be one of the issues in 2012. Waiting SLPP North America they do.
Well, I mean, as the region now, as waiting we the practice now like free democracy, would they give everybody, when a party member, the right for making voice be heard? Will they give everybody when a party member the rights for let be part of the process, may it criticize when need be? So we the hope say that value, that principle, that them also people, particularly the leadership back home, they emulate. Definitely being in opposition, is you don't say 9+ years, not to 9 days, not to 9 hours. You're talking about 9 years. Naturally, I think when the party is in opposition, you expect little internal scramblings here and there. Even in civilized democracy like in the Western world, you see when party then go in opposition, then they lost track first. You can fight each other, what have you. But to some extent, you can begin to ask the relevant question. Is it worth to keep fighting each other? Is it worth to keep dodging each other, finger pointing at each other? Or should we get our act together and look at what the common agenda should be, which is take on the APC with all we might? And I think for some of we, especially in the diaspora, now we focus. Continue for the fight each other, continue for the disagree here and there. If it don't work for the last 9 years, why do we think it will continue to work? It will not. So we in this region, I think we've made it very clear. The agenda is to kick APC out, and whatever tools we have in our realm to do that is what we focus on. Matter of fact, today, Saturday, we get to inauguration, where we bring people across the US for come, show that brotherliness, show what SLPP is all about. And I think that is the core principle that binds we together. We should not forget that. Obviously, I will confess to you, what don't happen at the party, I'm not happy with it. Because everybody has become the suspect. They're pointing at everybody. And it's not far away from this whole flag bearership. Make it tell people that at the end of the day, there's only going to be one flag bearer for SLPP. There's only going to be one president at a time. But the SLPP, when we know, a flag bearer by himself does not govern or does not take the party to State House all by himself or herself. You need a team. You need everybody on board. That's the need for unity. And I've been saying that. I'll continue to say that. I'll continue to advocate for that. That until we stay united, until we stay as a team with a common focus, a common purpose, a common agenda, I'm afraid we will continue to allow APC for the victory on the funny game there. So, and so that is the concern. We are less than a year into elections. Obviously, compared to the APC, we are not that strong financially. But what you mean, we have committed. We have people with the ultimate resolve that anything but APC is better right now for the people of Sierra Leone. So again, I will use this medium for just to appeal to my colleague SLPP members. All is not lost. These are difficult times. They are challenging times. Obviously, the road has been significantly rugged, but it can be better. I mean, Lord, look at even the life of the people of Sierra Leone today, after 9+ years on the APC. I mean, as recent as a week or two ago, we see Paul Jala's student there. They're not only they shut down their university, they've not been in college for the last how many months. These kids came out for demonstrate their rights, their democratic rights. Mr. Government, you've not been fair to us. What did they do? They use the security apparatus to go after these kids to the point that we have life then lost. That is not right. That is not right. And if we even move our way back, the whole Ebola situation, an unfortunate episode will be hit to nation. The government will concentrate and focus on that. Then they take the money that they push here and there, that they use them for their own benefit. I mean, who does that? I mean, there is a lot of things that don't happen in the last 9+ years under this APC government where if now a ledger is right, I'm sure you will put that ledger together and there is nothing good will come out of it. So these are the things where we as SLPP need to look at and say, you know what? We as a party, we have a track record. We have a track record for bring prosperity. We have a track record for bring, human capacity building to that nation. We have a track record for development. So you know what? We can do better. We cannot allow ourselves to be consumed with pettiness and at the expense of the people of Sierra Leone, allow APC to go on check and ultimately allow them for victory on election day. I mean, that would be extremely detrimental. And so I hope with people at this party, especially the leadership of the party back home, are looking at these issues. At the end of the day, we are a party with values. We are a party with principles. We get ideals that when they make we remain stronger as a unit. Mm-hmm. We founding fathers back then, whenever they put this party together, they're not going to look at other issues like tribe or region or who that better person company. No, they have one thing in mind, and that is for make Salon better. And for make Salon better, they be understand and believe that everybody has to be on board. Whether you are from the north, you are from the west, you are from the south, you are from the east, It doesn't matter which tribe you are, as long as your agenda is progress, they bring them all on board. This is not the fundamental thing. We put this party together. I mean, so we not for negate from that core value. We not for negate from that core principle. Because at the end of the day, with the same motto, now one country, one people, we should be able to uphold that. And with democracy, both internally, should be free, fair, and transparent. We should not allow ourselves to fall into manipulations. Because lately, that is what you're saying. People are complaining here and there. We should be tolerant to one another. I mean, this is not the party we bring RUF, the most ruthless rebel movement on planet Earth. We bring them on board, we sit down with them, we chat away from them, to the point of even giving their leader a position of being a vice president of that nation. I mean, come on, if we can do that, waiting down at the issue we not be able to sit down as brothers and sisters and talk about the issues there and map a way forward. I think we can do that. And we in North America, we're not going to stop. In particular, I will not stop. I don't care what people want to call me. My ultimate resolve is to ensure that we do not sleep a day after the elections with an APC government. And if by doing that, it's a crime, I think I will continue to push for that. And I think I will admonish any well-meaning and genuine SLPP member for continue to push for that. Again, we can only get one flag bearer at a time. All I think people are asking for, let's have a free, fair, and credible process. A low wall gets a flag bearer who will be able to rally around. And let that person there, which we support, like take it to State House. Because mind you, again, the APC don't amass a lot of wealth. They have the security apparatus in their favor. These people are ruthless. They can do anything they want. And we should not allow that for sway, and God forbid, for even they in a situation where they go into elections divided. Because that would just be detrimental. You know, so now that, I mean, I definitely go out, and we go continue to push from this point on. We door open. I mean, we accommodate anybody as long as you're a genuine party member. You come here, be part of us, and let's continue to push the agenda of the party forward. Because ultimately, our end game is we should be in power come 2018. I mean, anything short of that is catastrophic. I'll tell you that. The ultimate goal is we should be in office. We should be at State House 2018. The people of Sierra Leone need us. They are yearning for that change. I mean, you can tell from their faces, young men and women, you know, they are tired with this APC government. And I think that should be the message. And we should not disappoint them. As a party, we should not disappoint the people of Sierra Leone. You know?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now the chairman for the Sierra Leone People's Party in North America, of course, Dr. Lawrence Sandi. He talked to me today from the Washington, D.C. metro area. And of course, we not forget for say the SLPP get a big occasion at the Washington metro area today. And so if you didn't have that area day or you're able to travel and mass yourself right there, plenty people then get for come around for grace that occasion. And what an opportunity for you able to see and meet with old friends from Sierra Leone. Let us discuss politics and the way forward for Sierra Leone. So Dr. Lawrence Sandi, thank you very much for your time. And of course, we appreciate that today is a busy day for you, but you're able for Canada for let us discuss this. One for tell you plenty, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sherif, and continue the good work we do. You know, definitely, we all with progressive minds, progressive agenda. I'm not saying come 2018, victory will be for all of us, minus the APC, because then I really know target.
I know, minus the APC. Okay, well, we agree. I mean, even though we go stay neutral as a broadcasting network, but what you don't talk makes sense. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.